this morning, I felt ill in my bed, woke up at 6, felt ill, couldn't really sleep properly. I've not really been able to sleep properly the past few days. I don't know what's going on there. But I couldn't really sleep properly, woke up at 6, felt a bit ill. What I did was I watched some YouTube shorts, truthfully. Nothing inspirational there. Watched YouTube shorts. I saw some decent content of people that I watched, like Grant Cardone, Charlie Kirk, which is actually a new one. I didn't really know who he was before, but I find it really interesting looking at his debates and stuff like that. But anyway, came to about 7 o'clock, in and out of sleep, and I got out of bed and popped a paracetamol, got 5 or 6 shots of coffee in, and now I'm absolutely ready to go. Feeling great about the day. Currently building a few teams in my business. That's going really well. Feeling excited about building teams and stuff like that. It's a shame that it's getting towards the end of the year where I'm picking up momentum. But that momentum is going to continue all throughout the winter or summer, Dubai season or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is what I've realised about success. And I say success like I know all about success, but what I've realised about getting to the next level, let's say, the next level of personal development. I've had lots of levels of personal development. I've been at a stage where I just gave up drinking like 3 years ago now. It's actually been over 3 years that I've stopped drinking completely alcohol. And I say that as if it's a big thing. And that is because it is a big thing for me personally. A lot of people don't necessarily have problems with it. For me, I'm an all or nothing person. So when I'm involved in drinks, going out, alcohol, that sort of thing, that is my life. And I'll go all into it. I'm very sort of ADHD, so I'm very focused on the quickest bits of dopamine. And that's why I have a app on my computer called not Deep Work, Focus Me, where I actually have to force block all of these apps and websites from my computer, and it actually works really well because it keeps me focused. It's like, okay, look, I've got 5 hours of locked in work now where I can't access any of these websites or anything like that. What can I get done so that I can guilt-free do that stuff later? So it's like a internal reward mechanism there. But anyway, going back to getting to the next level, I've had lots of different levels of personal development and stuff like that. When I first stopped drinking to then starting to build my businesses, because I had the excess energy from stopping drinking. I just had so much energy that I just started diverting it into building a business, and it spiraled up from there, and it's compounded. Like a lot of people don't understand is how like your skill sets compound, and as you start to learn to manage people and stuff like that, the skill sets compound, and then you learn to manage people who manage people for you, and it's infinitely scalable. Once you find people who manages people for you, then it's like a whole new level. I remember watching a video from Hormozi talk about how you train people up and you find leverage through finding good people, but then you start getting leverage through finding the people who find the people who build your businesses. So that's, you get recruiters who recruit for you to build your businesses, and then you get managers to manage those people. It goes a bit like that when it comes to personal development and business and managing people, being a leader and all that sort of thing. So more to the point of getting to the next level, because that's what we're all here to talk about. What I've realized is that you need intense focus for periods of time. And this is not just overnight, this takes months. I would say that if you can put your focus into something, you start to see the results after 3 months, but 6 to 9 to 12 months is when you can really start to see like results of your actions and stuff like that. And I know that from the reverse sort of point of view. I'm clearing stuff up now, which I did at the start of the year. And what I mean by that is selling too many deals, getting too many clients on, and then having to slowly backfill and fulfill all of those now. So that's what I'm clearing up now, which is a lesson in itself. I think what that's taught me is that going forward in business, I want to know my profits straight away and dedicate money to fulfilling those clients straight away. Because the issue that I had was I was making lots of profit, but that profit wasn't being used to fulfill the clients. So I'm now paying out to fulfill those clients from ages ago. And then that money that I thought was lots of profit, I was spending on lifestyle stuff and lifestyle creep and stuff like that, which is not a good use of money. Anyway, long spurts of focus is very important. And it's why I'm quite glad that I've committed to Dubai for the next, I think, 8 to 9 months now. 8 months probably. It was 12 months that I got this lease agreement, or renting agreement, whatever it is, 12 months of Jaru. And it's good because my habits have compounded upon themselves. I'm getting into the routine. I'm focusing less on my lifestyle, my surroundings. I'm more focusing on what I can do that's productive and all that sort of thing. Not to say I wasn't productive anyway, but let's say you're traveling from Hong Kong to Bali to UK to Portugal to Europe, and it's just like you're in a state of, instead of working, you're trying to book an Airbnb, or instead of working, you're trying to book a flight, or instead of working, you're trying to change your flight, or instead of working, you're adjusting to the surroundings, and you've paid a lot of money to be in a certain place, but you're trying to work, and then it's, but I've paid loads of money to be here, so I may as well go out. And it's like all these different little things suck up your time and stuff like that. So I think there is a time and a place for that, but I think what you need to do is you need to have sprints of intense focus so you can build out the direction that you're trying to go in. So that's the phase that I'm in right now. I've got 3 businesses that I'm trying to grow. I'm personally growing teams for 2 of them. I've got someone else growing a team for 1 of them, which I'm also a director of. But I'm in this sort of intense phase right now, which I'm really enjoying actually. It's making me really enjoy my work. I'm finding fulfillment in back-end operations and fulfillment in terms of like actual client delivery. I'm actually finding a lot of enjoyment in that, which is interesting. That's not something I was more finding fulfillment in sales before, but maybe I actually find more fulfillment in client operations and fulfillment. I don't know, maybe that's a little revelation of mine or something like that, but we'll see. But anyway, getting to the next level, I've always had to sacrifice a lot. I've always had to sacrifice a lot to get to the next level. And what I mean by that is I needed to lock myself in a room. My previous sprints, when I was starting out the business, I was literally in an industrial unit, sleeping in an industrial unit. And like, I was just working like all day, all night, constantly in this industrial unit. And I've had other times where I've been at uni, dirt broke, not being able to pay like bills and stuff like that, like having massive bills come up because I wasn't prepared, or just trying to neglect that I had that coming up, and I've had to take money out of the business to fund it. I've had lots of scenarios where I've been like deep in the trenches, and this is the thing, a lot of people don't want to go back in the trenches. A lot hear David Goggins talk about this, and it's to get to, I don't know if he says this specifically, but he says the reason why he's been able to progress so much in his personal development and stuff like that is because he always goes back to zero. He always goes back to the trenches. He's always humble enough to go back. It's like, for me, I need to be humble enough to get on the phone myself and start cold calling myself so that I understand where I am. I need to put the hustle in myself. I think a lot of people, they work to a point where they can be lazy, and then they just become lazy, and then they lose everything that they worked for. You need to understand that you need to still put in the graft, otherwise you're not gonna progress the way you did in the first place. In order to progress and grow as much as you did when you first started, you need to continuously put yourself at ground zero and work your way up again as if you're at ground zero. And I think, and this is potentially a lesson for people at the start of the journey. This is potentially a lesson for people in the middle of their journey. This is potentially someone who is making a lot of money, but to get into the next level of making money, you need to lock in because you're getting too much lifestyle creep. And this is relevant to the people that start their journey, because at the start of your journey, you may have a comfortable job, or you may have a comfortable lifestyle, and you're gonna have to sacrifice that to go broke to try and make money by yourself. And that is a long process. Most people don't do it. That's why a lot of people aren't entrepreneurs. It's safer to just get a job. And to be fair, like, I don't think most people should be entrepreneurs because it's just so much stress on a daily basis. But I think it depends on what your tolerance is and what you're striving for in life and what your long-term goals are and what you're willing to give up. For me personally, like, I don't have serious I'm not in a serious romantic relationship. I've not got loads of friends that I'm trying to keep in touch with. I'm close to my family, but I don't need to see them like every single day or every single month. So for me, it's like, I am an independent person. I don't have much responsibility, like personally, really. So I can just go like balls to the wall, literally just live like a scrub and just work all day. So that's what I would say to anyone trying to get to the next level in life. Go to ground zero. Remember where you came from. Remember what got you to this level. What got you to this level was grinding. And if you haven't started your journey, then you need to grind, like as simple as that. But for anyone who's like in their journey, maybe got some success and now has chilled out a little bit, like you can chill out for a bit, but if you want to get to the next level, you need to lock back in. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm seeing lots of quick progression. I'm in the trenches again, but it's good because this is going to get me to the next level. And I'm probably going to have another break again where I get some more lifestyle creep and mess around for a bit. And then I'm going to realize that, oh shit, what got me to this level, locking in. And then I'm going to lock in again and then get to the next level. Yeah, I think that's the lesson. You got to sacrifice to get to the next level.